Hi there. Welcome to Supercharged Fridays. How are you? How's it going? How's the week been? Comment in the comments and let's chat. It's just you and me hanging out together. And if we haven't met, oh my gosh, where have you been? My name is Sonal Behel. I'm a career strategist and the founder of Supercharge. And this is a career advancement, career transformation firm that's employed by yours truly. And I help people who are going through transitions basically. And this is through one on one coaching, helping them to get to their next step and their next step and their next step so they get the results they're looking for. I do this through coaching, I do this through digital courses online, especially for those who don't have access to one on one coaching. And there's a lot of content. So the three C's: coaching, courses, content. Content is on YouTube, on the podcast, here, right here on LinkedIn, going live every Friday, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. If you're watching, come in and say hello and let's chat. If you have any burning questions that I can help with, I received a couple of them on email. So I'm going to be answering them as well. But I always like to give priority to those who show up live. So if there's anything I can do to help with, feel free. And if you're feeling a bit shy, maybe on LinkedIn, because it's not very anonymous on LinkedIn, feel free to jump on YouTube or on Facebook. Everything is there. Just go to my channel on YouTube. Just write my name. You'll find it. So, how's it going? How is everybody? Good afternoon to Romania, Texas, and India. How are you guys doing? And to Finland. Yay! Oh, okay. Thank you for saying hi, Risto. Good luck with your trip. I hope everything is going well. And yes, G, this isn't Ask Me Anything. You're more than welcome to join in based on a post Sarah did. Oh, sure. I'm not sure which post you're talking about. I've not been like super duper active on LinkedIn this week, but feel free to share like a synopsis. And if there's anything that you would like a different perspective on, I'm here for that. Thank you for joining. I know it's early for you, G. I know you're an early morning person, but it's early. 7 a.m. going on somebody's live stream is definitely, for me, it's early. So I'd love to help. Hey, Siddharth. Hey, welcome. It doesn't matter if you're joining after a week or after a year. What matters is you're here. That rhymes, actually. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. I like your name, rock and roll. All right, good. I got my first question. Let's dive right in. Hey, Shannon. I'm 54. I'm a nurse in pajamas. Oh, I'm so sorry. You might be in pajamas. That's not your identity. I'm so sorry. I'm a nurse in pharma. I've been in a great educator job for 9 years. At my age, am I hurting my marketability by being at this job for so long? Hmm. Beautiful question, Shannon. Beautiful because there's like these voices inside, and they're almost like a battle going on inside with a slightly more egotistical, um, narcissistic voice, which says, look at you. You want to change? You think anyone's going to change? Or who's going to accept you? How dare you? You're 54. Okay, listen, first of all, thank you for asking. Thank you for being here. My answers tend to be off the cuff, very honest, not always filtered. Okay, that's why they're honest. Take it with a pinch of salt. Take what suits you, discard what doesn't suit you. Okay. The other voice has been maybe made a little bit silent because this first voice is so loud. Okay. I think I can take the risk of saying, even though we don't know each other, Shannon, I think I can take the risk of saying this. Shannon, I think you know what the answer is already, but maybe you want to hear it from someone else. The answer is, if you love what you do, you're calling this a great educator job. Honestly, for me, I love teaching, I love educating. It's a big, huge ass privilege that I get to live every single day. And whether I'm 44, which I'm going to be soon, or I'm 54, is a detail. I don't know. It's like the color of my hair. I could go blonde tomorrow. I think it suits me, but it's nobody's decision except my own. And nobody gets to decide if I'm too old except me. So there is a very motivational sort of woo, make you feel good type of answer, and there is a really practical answer. This was the motivational answer, but trust me, it came from a really good and honest place. The practical answer is a lot of us alive today are going to be working till we are about at least 70, 65, 70. Right? In Europe, the retirement age has gone up. Um, 70, maybe 75. I mean, I know people whose parents, including my own, I mean, I know people who are working in their 70s and they're happy. So the point is, if you've got another 15, 20 years, what does that mean? You don't get to just write off and say that it's too much, you're hurting your chances. No, if you are in a good place, then stay there. However, there is a very big difference between staying somewhere and stagnating. Staying is you're there, you're thriving, you're learning, you're growing, you're blossoming. Stagnating is I could do this job with my eyes closed because it's so easy. That's not a great place to be in because our mind starts, to get onto autopilot, and it's not a great place to be in. So make sure you keep upskilling yourself, meeting new people, put your hands up for difficult projects, etc. So hopefully you get the picture. I've spent quite some time on this answer, but I think it was a really good question that I think deserves um, time, because there's a lot of ageism, and I think people would like to blame ageism for some things. I think that's got merit, but not 100%. The reality is always a little bit nuanced, but we like to focus on one thing only, like age or gender or race. Sometimes, not always, sometimes there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Hopefully, you've got a few different perspectives, and hopefully that helps you, Shannon. Thank you for being here. All right, next question. Let's move. Hey, Mano, how do you negotiate with European recruiters? So check out my YouTube channel. I have a whole playlist on negotiation, and the entire playlist has like 6 to 7 videos for free. Now, whether you are talking to Indians, North Americans, Europeans, Asians, Africans, it doesn't matter. There are some aspects which are universal, and my channel goes into that because I don't share my information on my channel for only one type of country or culture or nationalistic sort of sentiment. All right, good luck with that. Hi, Moses. Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Beautiful. Thank you for joining. I just said Africa, and here you are. Appreciate you being here. How do you negotiate a relocation claim? It's one of the things you ask for, Mayank. If they're asking you to move, say, yes, I would like to know if this could be covered, and explain why. It's a lot of money, right? I, I think you ask. And when you say claim, I guess you mean ask for it, right? You just ask. There's no two ways about it. Write your question down, practice in front of the mirror, and just ask. All right? You got this. You got this. Morning, morning, Tegan. Thank you for being here. It's 2 in the afternoon here in Brussels. What makes you think I'm not in my pajamas? You cannot see what you cannot see. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. G said, timing of sharing a new role. Timing of sharing a new role. Okay. G, can you share more about it? What were her perspectives? And I'll share mine with you because, okay, let me just share. Let me just share. When it comes to the timing of sharing, some people want to share before they start. Like, I'm so happy to announce that I'm going to be joining. Some people don't like to announce it and they let LinkedIn do its thing with that default thing, which says, congratulate Sonal for starting. Some people like to do that. Some people do both, which I think is a bit of an overkill. And that happens basically the moment they change their details on the work experience, it shows up as default. Some people like to do it 2, 3 months later. I'm a little bit on the latter camp. I like to do it a couple of months later, even though, in countries like in Belgium, there is no trial period. But I still think it's worth it to wait a little bit, a few weeks. But, sometimes you just know and you want to announce it. And if it doesn't work out, for whatever reason, it doesn't work out. It's about what feels comfortable to you. So probably Sarah shared her perspective. My perspective is it depends. I would wait a little bit before announcing. And by the way, I would also wait a little bit before announcing a departure. I'm a little bit conservative on both sides. People tend to focus a lot on like the entry But exit is, I think, as important, if not more. Hopefully that's interesting for you. G, hey, Shanti, I have a gap of a few years because I met with my in a with an accident in my final year. I'm so sorry about that. I got my degree late. Now I'm applying for jobs. How do I answer? Just be honest, Shanti. Explain what happened. Explain the accident, and that's it. Keep quiet. Don't over explain it. Just say there was an accident and this happened and then COVID happened. I got my degree late. Don't overthink it. Okay? I totally understand that. Hey, Bhav sir, I'm in this company for the last 11 years. How do you show it in a positive way? Okay, Bhav sir, I just had a fantastic chat with this lovely lady who's a nurse. Go back and watch the replays. I think there'll be some aspects which are applicable to you as well, where we talked about growth versus stagnation. And there's nothing negative about being with a company for 11 years. I mean, come on, what age, where have we reached in life if we have to show that you've been in a company for 11 years, something's wrong with you? I mean, if people are thinking like that, I'm sorry, there's a problem. Okay, it's different if it's in tech. And by the way, even in tech, I know people who are in like Accenture and Microsoft and they've been there forever and they love what they do. So it depends. Have you been growing? Have you been learning? Have you been doing interesting things? Yeah, the comments were crazy busy. G says about that comment, about that post on timing. Think carefully before blasting. I'm also not a huge fan of blasting either, at all. um, it depends if you feel comfortable. You better feel comfortable with the kind of reactions that are going to come. Some will be happy for you, some will be jealous. Doesn't matter. If you want to announce it, make it official, you do it. If you don't want to announce it and let it stay there, you're not hiding anything, that's also fine. Up to you. Up to you. Some people are very private, some people are more living in the public eye, so nothing wrong with that. Hey, good morning. Hey, Janelle. Negotiation of salary is my issue. Okay, truly blessed. Listen, Janelle, just go and watch please binge watch that channel of mine. I've put my heart and soul into it. And by the way, last Friday, I released a 24-minute video, which is updated for 2022 and beyond. So, ton of stuff in that as well. So, you'll get it after you watched all of that, after you binge watch. And if you still have an issue, then come here and let's talk. Okay. Hey, Mayank. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. Thanks, G, for sharing. I'm sure that's super duper interesting for everybody as well. All right, it's a little bit busy here in the comments, which I am super happy about. So I'm going to raise a little bit. Okay, so if I see a person asking 2 or 3 more questions, I'm going to just focus on one for now, just to be fair to the others who are watching live and waiting. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being patient. All right, let's go with what Shubham is saying. Hey, Shubham, so what do you do if you receive the first offer, which has a clause for 1 lakh? So that's 100,000 rupees that you need to pay if you fail to join or refuse this offer. However, you get a good hike and complete if you complete the notice period. Oh, I don't really follow this. Shubham, if you're getting a clause which says that if you don't join them, you have to pay them money, while I understand where they're coming from, at first glance, because I don't know the details, at first glance, there is a red flag for me. Okay? Sorry. Not, it's a red flag. It's a red flag. That's what I'm going to say about that. All right. Feel free to share, because feel free to read if you're watching on YouTube. Come and check out on LinkedIn later, because there's some cool people here who are recruiters and coaches and are sharing their comments as well. And G is definitely one of them. Hey, Shannon, I see. Yeah, well, then, you know what? You know what you have to do then? What is that voice telling you, Shannon? Listen to it. Listen, what's happening in there? What's happening? I want to know that before you are told and given marching orders. This is what you need to do. Wait. Okay? Because I think we have a wise Yoda inside all of us. Hey, Varsha, how's it going? Parikshit says, hey, I was working as an assistant manager for one of the largest retail firms in India. What are the ways and skills to move up the ladder quickly to business head or director level? Very good question, Parikshit. So there's no short answer here. There's a lot, and I get asked this question so many times. It's a little bit on repeat. I still think this question is worth spending time on. What I recommend you do, I don't know if people do this, but I have a podcast, and I did a episode 2 weeks ago, and I interviewed this lady in L'Oreal. where she got 7 promotions in 10 years. Her name is Tiffany Human. If somebody's watching and you're watching on LinkedIn, please feel free to tag Tiffany Human, that because that was the podcast. It'll be somewhere in her featured section. It'll definitely be in my podcast as well. Just go to How I Got Hired, Tiffany Human, UMAN, and just listen to it. It's a whole lesson on this very question. And I think your industries are similar as well. So, consumer, good luck with that. Hey, Leon, how's it going? Hey, Harshith, I've been told by the HR of new company that they can only pay 20% hike in place of 35 to 40, which is what I was asking and expecting. So, listen, Harshith, you take it or leave it. I'm going to just say this in the interest of time. You take it or leave it. You can negotiate and you can do your best. But at some point, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We don't need to get like all stubborn about it. And I talked about that on the YouTube video as well. Right? We don't always like the answers that we get. Hey, Rajiv, what do you do when HR is not giving? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This is the thing that I just said. You guys are like reading my mind. So thank you for being here. Kikobor, Ranujoy, thank you for joining. You guys are amazing. Hey, Helen, thank you for the vote of confidence. I'm happy you're here. You're awesome. Good morning to Kevin, another Texan here. Hope you guys are safe. I know Florida is far away. I know it's a huge country. I hope you guys are keeping safe. All right. Let's see. Hey, pastor. We have a pastor in the house. I've been offered a role that has a lower title, even though the total remuneration is higher. Ask the question. It's a very fair question. If they can do something about the title, I think people say title doesn't matter. I think it matters. Come on, right? It has to be reflective of the kind of work you have. I don't like answers which are very idealistic. You should do this. Should no, please, okay. And if they say this is the way it is internally, that's the nomenclature they have. That's in their categories. It is what it is. But if you don't ask, then you'll never know. Hey, Vedant, a course in finance. I don't know, my dear. You'll have to check that out on Google. That's a very content heavy question. So, somebody who's doing finance today or is happy with finance, feel free to suggest something to Vedant in the comments. Hi, LinkedIn user. Please identify yourself. I'm so happy you're here. You guys are awesome. We have a party going on in the house here. Awesome. Hey, Jayant, I have joined a new organization recently. However, a big four has approached and willing to pay a better offer, but they don't want me to serve notice period. Okay, that's also a red flag. I'm sorry. Recruiters, if anybody who's watching is a recruiter or a hiring manager, don't be dumb, okay? You don't want people to serve notice period. However, when people leave, you want them to serve notice period. That is complete and utter hypocrisy and double standards. Okay, that's a red flag for me, Jayant. Watch out. If you're in a good company and everything is going well, say, listen, I just be clear. Say, I have to respect. And by the way, do you really want to leave? Just because something better comes along doesn't mean you take it. You have to weigh the pros and cons of everything. Okay, it's your career. Don't do something that you regret later. Okay, no, honestly, there's no easy answer to that. Hey Apurv, I'm not a fan of salary negotiation email. This is the shortest answer you'll get. I really prefer that you don't do it on email. You do it over either a video call or you do it in person, or at least you do it over the phone. You get a response immediately and you tweak your answers accordingly. But email, you just kind of, I mean, I have seen people do it. Doesn't always go well. It takes really, really extremely high written communication skills to be able to do that. And I don't know if you have time to learn that, like literally overnight. Okay. Hey Nikhil, I have a little over 3.5 years experience. What is a good time? Anytime. I mean, Nikhil, if you feel ready, check it out. Check it out. There's no right time or wrong time. There's people who do it after a year, 2 years. There's people who do it after 10 years. So depends. Same with Subramaniam. That I literally just what I just answered right now. Check that out. I'm just running through in the interest of time. Hey Sarah, thank you for joining. Oh, it's so amazing to see you here. There was a question that G had posted. I think she tagged you. That's why probably you got the notification. I'm gonna read your post on the time to announce. I kind of gave a perspective, but I need to read your post to see what you were talking about because hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully, the move is good. Happy Friday. Hey, ask me. I have cleared political science, master MA, LLB. I get better pay in teaching than in law. Is it too risky to prepare? Dude, oh my gosh. Ask me. This is a very detailed question. What do you want? What do you want? You have the luxury of choices. You've done really well in these entrance exams. Which one do you want? Don't only chase the money. Look at the bigger picture. I know money is important. I'm not going to say it's not, but there's more to it than money. Money will come. What do you want? What are you good at? What do you enjoy? Hey, Varsha, thank you for sharing that. That's really true about staying versus leaving. You know what? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with staying. Thank you for sharing, Sarah. That is awesome. Uh, yeah, Sarah, hopefully you're safe as well. I was checking with Texas. Texas is far away, but hopefully the Carolinas is also far away from Ian, very troublesome Ian. I've seen some really damaging, like horrible, damaging pictures. Uh, okay, hopefully Sarah is fine. In case people are wondering, see the news. There's some horrible storm, horrible stuff going on in the world, right? Famine, drought, flooding. Um, okay, let us see. I'm gonna quickly go through and see. I need to do a better job of screening in questions versus comments. Hey Siddharth, what do you think about negotiating salary and perks when you are offered a role internally? I would totally do it, Siddharth. If the role is according to you at a different level, has more responsibilities for 100%. Because see, if the job description is changing, why will your money not change with it? Give me a good answer. Hey, Sarah. Oh, thank you. What camera are you using? To use a teleprompter? I'm doing freestyle today, so there's like literally no teleprompter. And by the way, even for YouTube videos, I don't use a teleprompter. I just prepare my notes feverishly the old fashioned way and remember them in the order. So there's a lot of bulletproof, not bulletproof. There's a lot of bullets, and I do it in several takes. Yeah, and if something doesn't work out, there's this glorious tool called editing. Thank goodness for that. As far as the camera is concerned, on YouTube, I use my phone. I'm scrappy. Just the iPhone 12, but right now I'm using a Logitech, I think 920 for live streaming. I think that phones are really good and better quality than webcams. So hopefully that helps you out. You look amazing on video as well. And in case you guys are wondering, check out um, Sarah Johnston has some amazing courses on LinkedIn. Those are professionally shot videos with like proper video, proper cameras, and those are amazing. Sarah has really, really good courses on LinkedIn Learning. Sometimes they're available for free. So definitely check them out. Sarah's amazing. All right, Mukesh, how does an army veteran map his skills with 20 years of corporate? Mukesh, in the interest of time, I highly recommend following this lady called Varsha, who is in the comments, and she specializes in resumes related to army people who are going through a transition to corporate. That is her jam. Like that is her thing. She'll be able to give you lots of resources that she already like has in place to be able to help you out. Okay, and in any case, I think it's worth following her. So you'll get a lot more from her than you will from me, because she's also comes from that profession. Her partner is in the military, so you'll get a lot more hands-on, first-hand, not hands-on, first-hand. Then because my answers would be more second-hand. Haven't lived it, right? Hey, San Antonio in the house. How you doing, Troy? Good to see you here. I've been trying to crack interviews for the last 1 year, and I've even attempted 10 interviews. And I've been rejected. I'm so sorry. Stream. I'm so sorry that happened. I have a lot of empathy for that. I've been through that as well. I'm glad you're asking the question, and I'm glad you're here, because if you've done something 10 times and it hasn't worked out, there is a possibility There are two possibilities, right? You were not, they needed someone else, or you could do a better job. I would like to focus on what you can control and that you could do a better job. So check out resources online. Check out my YouTube playlist on interviews. I have a whole playlist on interviews on what you could do better. What are some mistakes you're making? And practice with someone. If you can afford it, hire a coach and practice with a coach and do mock interviews. If you can't afford it, have a friend and do this with this person and have somebody record you, or even look in the mirror and record yourself with your phone. Record yourself, not mirror, sorry, in the camera. You'll be able to see if the answers are convincing. The problem is with doing it ourselves is we have too many blind spots, and we have a big ego, so we tend to get a bit defensive and we don't think anything is wrong. So if you want to get better, sometimes, you know what, gotta take the bitter medicine. It's bitter, but just for a little while. Then have some Nutella, it gets better. Good luck. Good luck. Thank you for joining here. Uh Procrastination. Oh my gosh. If somebody has an answer to procrastination, please share in the comments. I'm a queen of procrastination, Chirag. I would feel very hypocritical to give you an answer here. I'm a queen of procrastination. So if anybody's watching and would like to share what you do, I'd love to know. Put it in the comments. Hey Kanal, how do you get meaningful internships? You reach out to companies, you reach out to people, preferably who you know within those companies, and ask if they have good internships. Ask if they have internships, and then have a little funnel in place, right? So that'll be able to help you out a lot. Harish, I have 4 years experience in software. I got a call from my manager. She asked me about my future plans. Well, share your future plans. If you want to be a tech lead, then say you want to be a tech lead. It all starts with honesty, right? So that'll definitely help you. Hey, Rebecca, thank you for joining and for sharing this with your friends. Good morning. California is in the house at 5:28 in the morning. Somebody has little twin girls and is a light sleeper. twin twin toddlers. Hope you're doing well, Dan. Nice to see you here. Uh, does changing a new job within a year work? Does it work for you? Why do you want to change, Hardik? I'm not going to give you a lazy answer and say yes or no. Why do you want to change it? It has to work for you. Okay. If we had more time, I could get more into it, but I'm like now breezing through some of these questions. Hey, Garima, I recently joined a startup and the investors fired the CEO. Ugh. It's a red flag. It could be. It could be. If the leadership was not effective, then this is a green flag. If it was good leadership and there was a scuffle with the investors, then it's a red flag. You don't know yet. Too soon. But if I were you, I would keep my options open. I'm not saying go actively look, but I would be open. I would be open. If someone calls, I would listen. I would always listen, by the way, when someone calls. Never say no to someone saying if they can speak with you. It can't hurt. Hey, I actually completed an MBA. Can you suggest a good company? Check out Google, Karthik. Go to Google and see what are the top companies in your field, in the field that you're interested in. That would be a good place to start, not here, because this is a huge question. Dipankar says, I've done 3 rounds of interviews, and HR says, you shortlisted. I will send you the offer letter soon. It's been 12 days. Please follow up with them. Follow up. And if they don't reply, leave it. Okay? Doesn't sound very professional, honestly speaking. Yeah. I know they're busy, but if they say you're shortlisted and an offer is coming, then they have to, meet it. There could be aspects which are outside your control, my control. At least they can share that with you, right? Communication seems to have run dry. Hey, Unmesh, 2 questions. How do you tap into the hidden job market? Big one. It's a big one. Watch Unmesh. See, the so-called hidden job market, right? It's a very debatable topic on LinkedIn. Some people say it exists, some people say it doesn't exist. Listen, the higher you go up in the organization, the chances of people filling up those roles internally through friend of a friend, they are very high, right? It saves them time and money. It doesn't always work at a very low entry level, but there are exceptions. So one resource I recommend is watch the LinkedIn learning course by Sarah Johnston on the hidden job market. And the second one is watch my YouTube channel where I have how to get a job fast. There is a playlist called How to Get a Job Fast, and I talk about the hidden job market as well and how do you do outreach, how do you talk to people. So hopefully that will help as well. Lots of questions on salary negotiation. Harsh, can I negotiate a second offer if I have an offer in hand? Yes, of course you can. But please accept one. Okay. Compare them, but see what is the best one for you. For sure. Watch that video that I did last week on YouTube on Friday. It's a 24-minute video, and this is one of the questions I've addressed in it. All right. Amazing, amazing. Thank you for being here. I am almost finished. Oh, automation. So I got two connection requests yesterday, I think yesterday, and they said, "Hi, Sonal Behel." First name, last name. Imagine, "Hi, Kevin D. Turner." "Hi, Sarah Johnston." When I received, immediately deleted it. It looked like a very nice profile, but that person is using automation, which means they have literally scraped my data and written first name, last name. Nobody reaches out and says, "Hi, Dan Roth. How are you, Dan Roth, today?" I mean, it just sounds weird. I don't want to be talking to a robot because this person is being lazy, not interested, not my jam. Yeah, I wanted to share that. It's very annoying because these so-called automation lead type people are making millions. Okay. However, the ones who are paying them the kind of money, I'm not really sure they're seeing any results. Those results are artificial and those results are inflated. Okay. Kevin, if you're watching, please confirm what I just said. Um, it doesn't frustrate me that those people are making millions. Let them. Everybody deserves to have a good life. It's just that I feel for the clients who are paying that kind of money for automation leads, I'm not sure they're getting their money's worth. Kevin knows a lot more about this than I do. He's a total like LinkedIn nerd. Nerd. You're supposed to say that when you cough. Nerd. I'm really bad at that. So I'm just going to say it, nerd. But yeah, well, so am I. So it's not an insult, it's a compliment. All right. Hey, Usha has 13 years experience in the garment production. Okay, I don't know what is he. I'm thinking that's a typo. Gap of 9 years, two jobs done, left due to harsh behavior. Different reasons are not clicking. Sweetheart, ask me a question. Okay. Um, don't have the time to make an inference. What is the question here? While I'm addressing the others, I'm going to be live another minute, maybe couple of minutes. Feel free to ask me, what is your question? And I'm sorry it's not working out. It's not easy, especially after such a long gap that you found something, right? Totally, I hear you. Hey, Bharat, on managing procrastination. Okay. Somebody was asking earlier, right? Thank you for answering, Bharat. Self reflect to take small daily actions. Daily habit of reading. That's a classic. Atomic Habits by James Clear. Journaling always helps. What do you do, Bharat, if you procrastinate journaling? What do you do if you procrastinate reading? Now let's get to the tough questions. What do you do then? What if you're not a self motivated person? What do you do? Hmm. I completed my master's, Anuj says. I want to work my job in another area. That's fine. That's fine. If you have interest in another area, show that you have interest, but also show that you have some exposure to it, some expertise in it, some experience in it. Exposure, expertise, experience. That's good. I'm going to write that down. EX. If anybody's watching, feel free to write that down. That was good. I make sense sometimes. Because why would they hire you, right? Why would they hire you if they can get someone else? Um, so show that you can definitely change. No problem, right? There's certain countries where it's harder. There's certain countries, if you do this, you can only do this. I know that. There's some countries here in Europe where, and there's certain countries in South America I've lived in, where if you've studied this, you can do this. Can you change? It's harder. But in other most countries, yes, you can. So automation will cost you your LinkedIn account. Thank you, Scott. That, I mean, it's not worth it for a lot of people. It's lead generation, like, job leads, sales leads. And if it costs your account and you make another account and you go automating there, you'll get, it's not worth it. Honestly, I mean, yeah, I know, Dan, he was responding, but the word automation reminded me. So I went on a little tirade uh, right there. I don't drink coffee, okay? If you don't like it, yeah, you might be talking about yourself needing coffee. And jokes are always welcome. Anti-automation, it is inhumane and violates all the LinkedIn terms and conditions and the user agreement. UA is the user agreement. So all right. Last question of the day. Dan says, really, Dan? Really? Really? You're gonna go there with the new monarchy in the UK? Oh, okay. All right. I'm not even going to answer this. I'm not even going to read it out. Thank you for joining, Dan. So, guys, I hope this was helpful. I almost didn't do a video. It's the sun is shining. It's gorgeous here. Let me see if I can show you. Let's see if I can show you. The sun is shining. There's my lovely little plant. The sun is shining. It's a gorgeous day. I wanted to go out for a walk and I thought I'll do LinkedIn audio. But, wash my face, kind of brushed my hair. I'm glad I did. It's my favorite part of the week. Thank you for guys for being here. Thank you for joining. I shall see you at the same time next week on Supercharged Fridays. Till then, if there's anything I can do to help, feel free to check out my website, which, by the way, I have to upgrade. If you know someone who knows website upgrades, feel free to suggest their names, tag them in the comments. I'm looking for a good website developer. I mean, I've done my website myself. It's very kind of homemade, but it doesn't hit the mark anymore, So thank you for joining. Thank you, Chirag. That's very kind of you. I appreciate you guys, and I shall see you at the same time next week. Bye. Have a good Friday and a good weekend.